What happens when the person you trusted most stabs you in the back? In BMF Season 4, Episode 9, that question isn't just asked, it's answered in the most brutal way possible. This betrayal isn't small, it's the kind that shakes the streets, destroys loyalty, and leaves everyone wondering who's next. From the first scene, there's an unshakable tension, a sense that something is about to explode. You can feel it in the way characters glance at each other, in the pauses between words, and in the moments where silence says more than dialogue ever could. This episode builds that tension like a ticking bomb, and when it goes off, nothing will ever be the same. Episode 9 starts with a city on edge. The streets are colder than ever, and the power struggles are more dangerous than any gunfight. Meech and Terry have been pushing harder, making moves that keep them one step ahead of their rivals. But that kind of ambition comes with a price. Someone is always watching, always calculating, and always ready to take advantage of the smallest mistake. The episode wastes no time showing that every decision made in this world is a gamble. Even the people closest to you have their own plans, their own fears, and their own reasons for turning against you. We see hints of trouble early on. A side conversation here, a quick exchange of cash there, and suddenly, pieces of the puzzle start to form. This isn't a loud, obvious betrayal. It's slow, quiet, and calculated. The type of move where the traitor smiles in your face while plotting behind your back. The writing in this part of the episode is sharp. It lets the audience figure out what's coming without spelling it out. You start connecting the dots, but by the time you realize what's really happening, it's already too late for the characters. The build-up is what makes this betrayal hit so hard. Every scene feels like it's leading to something, and the camera work pulls you in close, forcing you to notice the small details, the shifting eyes, the hesitation before speaking, the nervous hands. You can sense the weight of what's about to happen, but you still hold on to the hope that maybe it's just paranoia. That hope gets crushed the moment the betrayal is revealed. And the way it's done isn't flashy, it's almost casual, which somehow makes it even more cold-blooded. It's not a crime of passion. It's a move of strategy, designed to cut deep and leave scars that won't heal. By the end of the first act, the audience isn't just shocked, they're questioning everything they thought they knew about these characters. If this person could turn, then no one is safe. And in the BMF world, that's exactly the point. Trust is a weakness, loyalty is fragile, and power is the only thing that really matters. This betrayal isn't just a plot twist, it's a message, a warning. And it's setting the stage for the kind of finale that could change the entire game. Asterisk, the moment the betrayal starts to take shape, it's almost invisible, like a shadow slipping into the frame. Episode 9 doesn't rush this reveal. Instead, it takes its time, letting us watch the traitor move in silence, every step calculated, every word chosen carefully. At first, it's just a small meeting in the back of a dimly lit room. The traitor leans in, speaking low, making sure no one else hears. There's a glance over the shoulder, a quick exchange of cash or maybe information. It's hard to tell at first, but you can feel the weight of it. Something about the body language screams danger. The way the traitor nods, the faint smirk. They try to hide. It's the kind of acting that tells you everything without a single line of dialogue. As the episode moves forward, the signs get louder. We see the traitor in places they shouldn't be, talking to people they've never been close to before. Conversations get cut short the moment another character walks into the room. There's a shift in tone, less warmth, more hesitation. The writing here is clever because it doesn't show the betrayal in one big scene. It layers it in, piece by piece, so that by the time the full picture is revealed, you've already felt it in your gut. And that's when it hits. This isn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. This betrayal has been in motion for a while, carefully built under the radar. The turning point comes during a critical business move for Meech and Terry. They're ready to pull off something that could secure their position and push their enemies back. But there's one problem. They're walking straight into a setup. The traitor knows every detail of their plan because they helped create it. They were in the room when it was discussed. They nodded along, pretended to agree, all while feeding information to the other side. This isn't just a double cross, it's a surgical strike against trust itself. Every move Meech and Terry make in this scene is watched, measured, and manipulated to benefit someone else. What makes it even more gut-wrenching is the motive. It's not just about money, though. That's part of it. There's jealousy, resentment, and a hunger for power that's been simmering for seasons. The traitor feels overlooked, underappreciated, and pushed to the sidelines. In their mind, this is payback, finally a chance to prove they can play the game just as ruthlessly as anyone else. But in trying to prove themselves, they cross a line that can never be uncrossed. The moment they hand over the last piece of information, sealing Meech and Terry's fate, you can see the shift in their eyes. There's no going back. The actual scene where the betrayal lands is masterfully shot. The tension is thick, the pacing tight. You can hear the low hum of background noise, the subtle beat of the score building up to something you don't want to happen but can't look away from. When the trap is finally sprung, it's not loud at first, it's a moment of stillness, the realization hitting the characters before the action explodes, and when it does explode, it's chaos. Shouts, scrambling, the sound of betrayal echoing. Louder than any gunshot. By the end of this section, the audience isn't just watching a plot twist, they're watching the unraveling of an empire from the inside. One person's choice has set off a chain reaction that will ripple through every storyline. Friendships, alliances, and even family ties are now poisoned. In BMF's world, there's no clean way out of a betrayal like this. You either live with the consequences, or you don't live at all. The moment the betrayal comes to light, the streets feel different. It's like the air itself has changed, thicker, colder, heavier with tension. Everyone's eyes are sharper now, scanning for danger, because the truth is out. Someone on the inside has flipped. The first wave of fallout hits fast. Meech and Terry, still reeling from the setup, are forced to regroup in a rush. The plan they spent weeks crafting is shattered, and every step they take from here on out has to be about survival. The betrayal doesn't just wound them, it exposes cracks in their empire for every rival to see. And those rivals waste no time moving in. The immediate consequence is trust gone, completely burned to ash. Conversations that used to be casual are now interrogations. Every ally is a suspect until proven otherwise. Even the most loyal members of the crew can't escape the shadow of suspicion. The atmosphere is toxic, with paranoia spreading faster than bullets. In one scene, a heated argument breaks out between two longtime associates, each accusing the other of having a hand in the betrayal. The writing here captures how betrayal isn't just one act, it's a poison that seeps into every corner of the organization, turning friends into enemies without a single shot being fired on the streets. Word of the betrayal spreads like wildfire. Rumors grow with each retelling. And suddenly the narrative isn't just about one person's disloyalty, it's about the possibility that Meech and Terry's operation might be slipping. Rivals smell blood in the water. They start testing boundaries, pushing into territories they wouldn't have dared touch before. Deals are broken. Shipments go missing. Even low-level hustlers start questioning if it's worth staying loyal to a crew that can't even protect itself from the inside. It's a feeding frenzy, and the wolves are circling. The personal impact is even more brutal. Meech, who has always been the calm strategist, starts to show cracks. His trust in his instincts is shaken. How could he not see this coming? For Terry, the betrayal cuts even deeper because he feels like he's been fighting to hold the family together while others were working to tear it apart. Their relationship, which has already been tested in previous seasons, hits another breaking point. Every conversation between them is sharper now, laced with frustration, blame, and the unspoken question of whether they can still rely on each other. When the heat is this intense, the betrayal also forces them to make decisions they might have avoided before. Mercy is off the table. Anyone who can't prove their loyalty is a liability, and liabilities get removed permanently. We see a shift in their leadership style, colder, more ruthless, less forgiving. The camera lingers on small moments. Meech looking at an old photo of the crew when things were good, Terry tightening his jaw before giving an order that will end someone's life. It's these details that make the fallout feel heavy, real, and irreversible. One of the most powerful sequences in this section is a quiet scene after the chaos. The crew is gathered, but there's no laughter, no planning, just silence. Everyone is carrying the weight of what's happened, but no one says it out loud. The betrayal has created a scar, and scars change how you move, how you trust, and how you fight. It's clear that from this point forward, nothing will ever be done the same way again. By the end of this part, the audience understands that the betrayal isn't just an event, it's a shift in the entire balance of power. The streets have been reset, the rules rewritten, and the only certainty left is that someone will pay. For this, the question is, who will strike first? Asterisk, what makes episode 9 unforgettable isn't just the plot twist, it's how every element of the show works together to make you feel the betrayal. The acting is nothing short of electric. The traitor's performance is layered so carefully that on a second watch, you start catching all the little details you missed the first time, the subtle shift in tone when they speak to Meech, the almost imperceptible pause before answering questions, the way their eyes flicker when certain names are mentioned. It's acting that rewards you for paying attention, making the betrayal feel both inevitable and shocking at the same time. Meech and Terry's reactions are just as compelling, but in very different ways. Meech plays it with a controlled burn you can see the fury behind his calm exterior, the way he's calculating his next move even while processing the hit. Terry, on the other hand, wears his emotions on the surface, his frustration and heartbreak spilling over in every scene. The contrast between them gives the episode emotional depth, showing two very different ways to handle pain when your trust has been shattered. Supporting characters also step up, with smaller roles adding weight to the overall tension. Even a single look from a background player can carry meaning, reminding you that in BMF's world, everyone's watching. And no one's neutral. The direction of episode 9 is razor sharp. Camera angles linger just long enough to make you uneasy, drawing you closer to the characters' expressions, forcing you to see every flicker of doubt or flash of anger. The lighting shifts with the mood bright during moments of false security, then dipping into shadows when danger creeps in. The score is a silent co-conspirator in this betrayal, starting low and steady, then rising like a pulse as the truth closes in. There are moments where the music drops out entirely, letting silence and tension carry the weight. Those quiet beats hit hardest because they leave you hanging in uncertainty. From a writing perspective, this episode is a masterclass in foreshadowing. The betrayal isn't dropped out of nowhere, it's been brewing under the surface, hinted at in throwaway lines and background moments in earlier episodes. When the reveal comes, it feels both shocking and completely logical. The dialogue is tight and purposeful, every word chosen to either push the plot forward or deepen the emotional impact. The writers understand that betrayal in this world isn't just about action, it's about psychology. It's about the slow erosion of trust, and how one person's ambition can turn into someone else's nightmare. Thematically, Episode 9 drives home one of BMF's core truths: loyalty is only as strong as the hunger for power allows it to be. The betrayal isn't just a personal attack, it's a statement about the game itself. In a world where survival means outthinking and outmaneuvering everyone around you, trust becomes a luxury few can afford. This episode forces viewers to question every bond they've seen so far. Is loyalty real, or is it just another currency to be spent when the price is right? The show doesn't give a comforting answer because in the streets, there isn't one. As for what comes next, this betrayal doesn't just set up the finale, it ignites it. Episode 10 is now primed to be an all-out reckoning. Revenge is inevitable, but who delivers it and how could shape the entire future of the crew? Will Meech and Terry strike back hard and fast, sending a message no one can ignore? Or will they play the long game, setting traps for their enemies the way this one was set for them? The possibility of another double cross hangs in the air. Because betrayal rarely happens in isolation, it often sparks more betrayals, each one more brutal than the last. By the time the credits roll, you're left with more questions than answers, but in the best way possible. The betrayal that changes everything has already happened. Now the only thing left is to see how far the ripples spread, and who will still be standing when the waters finally calm, if they ever do. Episode 9 doesn't. Just prepare us for the finale. It makes it clear that whatever happens next, it's going to be unforgettable.